All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. It's Thursday nights, and we have our good friend Mel Doerr with us. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Recovering from our Gettysburg trip. I'm
Yeah.
feeling much better. But Monday, I swear I was on the couch all day.
Oh, I got home Sunday and I slept like 2 hours the night before.
Yeah,
And when I got home, I unpacked my suitcase, put the dirty clothes in the hamper, left the rest of it, and said, I'm gonna lay down. I slept the entire day.
I
So and
believe
poor
it.
Linda Grindle, she had a 45-minute delay on her flight. Then she had to take another 5-hour flight to San Francisco and then another hour to get home. So she had to have been exhausted.
I'm sure.
But it was fun. I really enjoyed it. And we're over one, and now we're getting ready for the other one.
Yes.
We have, I think, 8 spaces left. So if you're interested, please get in touch with us because it sells out quickly. I couldn't get the Sarah Black room or the McFarland room. I got the Lincoln room. So
Mhm.
once again, we'll have a raffle, and a lucky person will be able to spend the night in the Lincoln room at the Farnsworth house. If you're afraid to do that, no problem. We'll just pull the next name out. So, and I heard from the person who spent the night, and she said she felt a heaviness, but she
Mhm.
just closed her eyes and she protected herself. And she said it was a neat experience, and she's glad she did it. So there you go.
That was a fun time. It was so nice to meet everybody, and we got a lot of activity too. I think getting a lot of sensitives and intuitives together in a space really
All that.
amped up amped up all the paranormal experience, because I'll say I've never had as much physical evidence coming through on a tour as I did with our group in Gettysburg. And actually, I sent Mel the video when we were in the Jenny Wade house, and there was a cane that was swaying back and forth, and somebody took a video for it, and I put it up on my shorts last night. So if you want to check it out.
Yeah, we had a lot of activity. A lot of activity. And we had a great group. Me, I'm the mother hen. um, but I'm looking at this right now, and you can see it swinging. Wait, I'll show it. Hold on. I'm just looking at it. Give me 1 second. I got to wait for the video to stop. Uh,
I'll just say too, by the time it was swaying back and forth for a good 2 or 3 minutes.
you,
And nobody was near it. There was no ventilation blowing on it. There was no way to explain it moving
you can
for
see the
so
cane
long.
in the video. I don't know if you can see it, but it's swinging
Not
back
very good.
on its own.
A little bit.
Can you see it?
A little bit. There's a glare on the screen, but it.
Yeah, I know this is a glare,
I
but
have it on my shorts if anybody wants to see it.
that's pretty cool.
It
Uh,
was pretty cool.
um,
But we have some openings in September. Is it 24th through the 26th, I think?
yes. And so the first night here again, the meet and greet. Then then the second day, we'll it's and that night we'll have probably dinner. I don't know where is that dinner on our own? I forget. Yeah, no, yes, it is.
No,
uh,
it's at O'Rourke's.
I'm sorry, it all
It was
works.
at O'Rourke's.
But that's not covered. The dinner's not. And then the next night we'll do the battlefield, and that's like 4 hours. And then
It's
we'll
a
have
bus tour.
rides a bus tour. I think then we'll have dinner at the Dobbins house, and then after that, we'll have the Ginny Wade orphanage uh, tours, and then those go late. And so the next day you can sleep in, and then at 3 o'clock we'll have the Civil War demonstration. And I asked them if we could probably do dinner around 7 or 7:30 as opposed to 6:30, and they were fine with that because this way there's more time in between for everybody to kind of have a little breather.
Yeah.
And then we will have our tour of the Farnsworth house. We'll be in the dining room to eat, but also for activity, if you will. And then one group will go in the basement, one in the attic, and then we'll switch. So it'll be fun. There's a
Yeah.
lot packed in. There's a lot jam packed into those 2 days.
And all private events, so you don't have outside people joining us too. So
Outside people. So
but if anybody's interested, you can send me an email at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. It's in the description box. I can send you a brochure with all the details, or you can call Mel Doerr's office, which is in the description box. But if you want to tell them your office number, Mel.
it's 847-590-5411. Again, 847-590-5411. So
Very cool.
there you go.
All right.
I looked at breaking news before we got started for about 5 minutes, and I just want to start to say this SCOTUS really ticked me off. I think they're anti-immigration, they're anti-bigoted, at least the six that are Trumpers. They're so far up his rear end, they've got brown on their nose. They allowed the Trump administration to end legal protections for migrants fleeing violence and natural disaster in Haiti and Syria. 6-3 decision. I'll give you 3 guesses who voted on what, right?
Well, yeah.
And it allows the Department of Homeland Security to swiftly and to end protected status from a program protecting 1.3 million people from 17 countries. Shame on Roberts, shame on Thomas, shame on Alito, shame on Gorsuch, shame on Kavanaugh, and shame on Barrett. They have bloodstains on their hands. And this decision, my guides tell me, will be overturned once the regime is over. If these people are deported and die due to this stupid SCOTUS decision, those justices, I feel, will be guilty of innocent people dying. In fact, 4 Haitian women who were deported from the U.S. in February were found beheaded and dumped in a river a few months later.
Oh, geez.
SCOTUS knew that. And then they said that Trump's remarks about Haitians weren't bigoted. Excuse me?
Oh, you mean, wasn't he saying eating all the cats and dogs? And
yes.
Yeah.
And I think one of the justices, I don't know, was Sotomayor or Kagan, said, wait a minute, it is. She dissented, 3 of them dissented, and she was blistering. She was like, wait a minute. Trump said this. Trump said that. That was what whole country.
Yeah.
They eat dogs and cats and everything he said. And boy, it just gets crazier and crazier. And now it gets even worse because the National Park Service, geez, I wonder who put the head of that in place. Thank you, Donald, is saying that the pool was cut with a razor, the line.
Oh, BS.
Like we're supposed to believe that. And now, even worse, those senators who voted for the War Powers Resolution Act against Trump, the 4, they went back and voted in favor of Trump after Trump berated them, invited a few to the White House. Oh, well, we changed our mind after we got briefed. Wrong. You're just cowards.
I didn't hear that. Did that happen today?
Yes. And then, to put the icing on the cake, SCOTUS extended gun rights and allowed gun owners to carry weapons into stores that don't want people to bring in guns. Again, 6-3, go figure. And the violence and the insanity goes on and on and on. I'll lay you odds. If one of those SCOTUS members lost somebody to gun violence, they would be the first one screaming against it. So, I heard that Kagan and Alito are at odds over Trump because somebody said, one of the justices, a Trumplican justice said, it's not racial animus. And Kagan said, oh, yes, it is. And quoted Trump. So everybody write to the Supreme Court and tell them how dissatisfied you are with their decisions.
Well, I think the Supreme Court's approval rating's the lowest out of all the government.
I think everybody should write to them about, and those senators who changed their votes, write to them. Let them know. You know what? In a way, the fact they changed their votes is horrible, but it puts them out of office. How much you want to bet?
Oh, I agree. Well, I think the ones that voted against him were the ones that were primaried out that didn't get support from Trump.
Bingo. They were.
Yeah. But I do see more and more Republicans standing up to him.
They will. But
They will.
At least those 4, I thought they grew us up, but obviously they got snipped
too long. Wonder what they were bribed with there.
Right. By the way, Kevin, I want to say it was wonderful meeting your mom, and I really enjoyed hanging out with her.
Yeah, she had a good time.
All right.
Nice to keep me some company going down there and on the way back too. So,
there you go.
Well, since we're talking about the Supreme Court, I mean, we've chatted before. I definitely feel major reforms coming in with the next presidential administration. I think we're still waiting on the birthright citizenship case. What are you picking up with that?
I'm sorry, repeat again. I'm starring things for us, but go ahead.
The birthright citizenship case. What do you feel how the Supreme Court's going to rule on that?
Well, he's trying to, what's Trump doing? Trying to overturn it?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty clear in the Constitution.
Well, so he's trying to say that if you are born in the United States and your parents aren't from here, then you don't have citizenship, right?
Yeah.
I don't see that passing.
I don't either.
I don't. He's going to lose on that one because it's unconstitutional.
Well, and the Supreme Court doesn't have the right to rewrite the Constitution. They can interpret it.
Well, then if they did that, they would make the Constitution unconstitutional.
Exactly. I don't see them going that far, even though,
once Trump is out and Shady Vance is out, I see a new court. And they're going to overturn a lot of the things that this court.
I see investigations. I see investigations into some of the justice, and I do feel term limits, and they will probably put something in place where if when they're being confirmed and they're saying that they're going to, when the Senate questions them about their stance on things, and then they blatantly lie and go vote the other way, that there's repercussions, and I see some justices added.
I do too. And I think they're going to have proof that the Trump people, before those cases even hit the Supreme Court, talk to some justices, we know who, to try to get the court to rule in their favor. And that will come out.
Mm-hmm.
I keep seeing 2 or 3 of those justices impeached. 2 I see impeached. 1 resigns before it gets that far. So
you feel before Trump is out that they're going to replace a justice?
Well, I think no Democrat ones, no, because they're not going to resign. If they do replace one of the justices that Trump put in place, it really doesn't matter because they're still a Trump appointee.
I mean, if you take an old justice and replace him with a younger one, I mean, that may be why they add justices to the courts. Well, I'm almost feeling Alito. For some reason, I think Alito and Thomas are being pressured to step down, but so that Trump can fill their vacancies. But I feel with Thomas, there's a bit of resistance, although I don't feel him in there for too long. But Alito may step down, I feel.
Well, even if he does and he's replaced by somebody stupid like Eileen Loose Cannon or somebody like that, I still feel that once Trump and Shady Vance or the Maybelline Queen are gone, I still see the court shifting. In other words, I still see justices 2 impeached, 1 resigning before it gets that far, and I see more justices other than 9. And guess what? The court swings back, and they're going to overturn many of the rulings this Supreme Court made.
I agree.
Donald Trump thinks he's got them in his pocket. So,
well, the thing is that they're, they all the Republicans try to please Trump. But I do feel for some of the cases too, like with the tariffs, a lot of people that fund them, that give them money illegally, are in their ears too.
There you go.
So
Can I put this one up? I like this.
sure.
This is true. Raymond de Pasquale. Hi, Raymond. It says, when avarice takes the head in a state, it is commonly the forerunner of its fall. Alexander Hamilton. I believe that.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of people that went to Gettysburg saying how good it was. I see it in the comments.
If anybody got any evidence, send it to me in my email. I'd love to share more of it.
Yeah, me too. Or send it to Kevin. Kevin can forward it to me.
Yeah.
There you go. A lot of people are asking about an interim government. We put it in capital letters. You don't have to ask 2 or 3 times. We'll answer it. But if you just keep putting it up there, we'll get to it. But, I'm not telling everybody what to do. We thank you for the questions, but
we have it starred.
Yes, I'm getting to it. Okay.
All right.
Let's start getting to some. I've got 23 starred. And
All
so
right.
Let's go with this one.
All right. Mitch McConnell's been hospitalized for almost 2 weeks. Well, they keep his death a secret. I don't think he's dead.
He's not dead.
He's not dead yet. He is very weak.
He voted.
And then also,
he didn't vote.
Andy Beshear appointed Democrat in his place.
I don't know in Kentucky how that works. Beshear is a Democrat, but I don't know if I don't know if the Constitution in Kentucky allows that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Beshear would like to put a Democrat in his place. I don't know if it goes to runoff election or whatever.
I heard on the news last night, and it's weird because I've heard multiple things, but on the news, I've heard that the governor, it says in their constitution, can appoint somebody to replace them, and then that their state house put a rule in that it has to be from the same party, just so if McConnell, something happened to him, Beshear had to vote nominate a Republican in. But then on the news last night, I heard that the governor doesn't have power to appoint. They have to have elections.
I'm sure
I don't know what's true there. I'd imagine that the news would be accurate, but I've heard different things.
Ultimately, what I see would be even if a Republican took McConnell's place, it would be interim, and then when an election happened, it will be a Democrat in that spot.
I've always felt Beshear will run for president. I don't see him winning in 2028, but I've always felt him in the Senate.
He'd make a good vice president. I don't know. Once he's done being governor of Kentucky, his political career is not over. He's really, people in Kentucky like him, and Kentucky's a red state, but they like Beshear. His dad was governor down there for a long time.
Yeah, I do feel him as a senator. I don't think McConnell is past. Although I read on this yesterday when I did a show, it's like all these Republicans have Horcruxes and 9 lives. But I do feel McConnell's on his last life. And I said last time he was hospitalized, I felt like he may come out, but I don't feel a long life for him. I do feel he's alive right now. I've always said I don't think he'll finish out his term, but I don't see him in his seat for very much longer.
I don't either. I'm surprised he made it this long because his health is not good. He didn't vote for that war powers thing. I don't think he was able, but he's not dead. He's still alive.
And then yesterday when I read on it, I kept on getting pulled to the heart. So it's either heart or circulation. And I don't think he's able to walk on his own anymore either.
I think he's having some strokes is what I think.
Okay.
Okay. There's another one I just put up.
What do you see for the state of the country through the end of summer? Thank you for helping. Thank you for the help you bring to keep us sane. And thank you for the super chat, finally, Judy.
Yes, I'll put that up. There's a super chat from Judy, from Finally Judy.
I mean, I'm not really sure what the question is. I mean, that's pretty.
Well, I see inflation. I don't see a full depression, but inflation worsening, gas prices going higher. This war and that Trump started in Iran is not going to be over by then. I think that, when he was saying they had a deal and they had this, I think it was more Iran telling him what to do. And then Netanyahu was bombing Lebanon, and that, so, Trump is saying they're winning and he's not. That's clear. And, you know, so I don't see an end to the war. I see Trump's health deteriorating. But in a way, I hope he makes it past the midterms, because he's going to make so many people angry that they won't vote Republican.
I mean, I could be wrong. Timing's always hard. I'd be very surprised if he's still in the presidency by midterms, to be completely honest with you. I'm not saying because he passes away. But I do think that there's a lot of talking behind the scenes that he's not well. I'm feeling another big Epstein stuff coming up. The Republicans know that they're going to lose catastrophically in the midterms. The economy, so many different factors they're pressuring. And I do feel more and more Republicans starting to stand up and challenge him. I think even a lot of people talking to J.D. Vance, because yesterday when I was reading on it, I almost felt like the two of them are not getting along, and Trump is super paranoid about his cabinet turning on him.
Well, one, J.D. Vance is like, no matter what Rubio says here, Vance is saying something else here. With Rubio said one thing in Switzerland and Vance said something else, and it was Iran, and it's like craziness. But I still see the Dems and taking over the House and the Senate in the midterms. So, that's going to make Trump, if he's still around, a lame duck. I don't see a long life for him. I'm not wishing anybody harm.
I agree.
But my guides have been showing me a long time, like clouds around his head area, dark clouds, which means stroke or something going on in his head. But I see a lot of people marching peacefully.
It's going to be crazy this summer.
Right. And it's going to come out about the pool that they're lying about it. We all know that. And lied about a lot of stuff about Iran too. So, anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that. The astrology this summer is crazy. So I'm feeling a lot of upheaval and chaotic energy, but I think it leads to change that we're looking for. So Ness is going to be on my channel on Monday, this Monday coming up, and we're going to look at July's astrology. There's something in the astrology too, and I had gotten this at the beginning of the year when I read with her, just throwing cards randomly, that it may be end of July, August, when Trump resigns or he's forced out. And there's something in the astrology that indicates leaders exiting, or endings for leaders, or physical endings. So we'll talk more about that on Monday with Ness.
Ness is an excellent astrologer. So
very good.
Antoinette's granddaughter. Hi, Antoinette.
Hey. I've enjoyed seeing all of the camaraderie of the different nations and their interactions with Americans. Will our media ever stop trying to divide us from each other?
Well, there's one media outlet that tells the truth. The rest of them lie. But what I see coming is legislation, once Cheetolini and Shady Vance or the Maybelline Queen have gone, to really enforce antitrust and just say that one family or one person cannot own all the media outlets, and they're going to regulate that, ownership, and that corporations can't buy elections any longer, and put limits on all of that. A lot of legislation coming out to keep corporations and these media outlets from interfering in elections. And I see a comeback to the fair doctrine policy, where if you say one thing about this candidate, the other one would have equal time on all channels. And I see that coming back front and center again. So
yeah, I mean, it's going to take a while. I don't think that it's all going to be changes that
it'll
happen like this. But I think between 2028 and 2032, we're going to have massive reforms to our democracy and constitution.
Absolutely. Antoinette, I travel a lot, in Europe. And, before when I would go to Hungary, people seemed nervous and kind of just repressed. And now when
Mhm.
I was there, they were electric because Viktor Orban was voted out and Peter Mayer was voted in. And they were like, yes. And they would talk to me about it, the people I talked to anyway. And they were like, be patient because the same thing will happen in America. They had to put up with Viktor Orban for years. I think Peter Mayer will change a lot for the better in Hungary, but they were very supportive of Americans that don't like Trump. And they're saying that, for us to speak up and just do what we need to do and to vote in order to get the MAGAs out of office. And we will do that. So,
I mean, I do think it's going to take a while, and I think the damage that Trump's doing to our allies and trade partners, I think some of it will be irreversible. Other people are making deals with China right now.
But I mean, a lot of the different people in the different countries I was in Europe, they're not anti-American, they're anti-Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And many of them were talking about the first thing, do you like Trump? No, 70% of us do not. And they know that. And they were nervous because they don't want the same things happening in their countries. So
yeah, it's not just happening in the U.S., but I do feel it's going to take some while to regain that trust.
Right.
And I think it's going to hurt us economically with our trade partners in the future.
Absolutely. It'll take years to repair that.
He's going to cause the ending of the American, being the global power and usher in China. That's what's going to happen.
Bingo. Well, I think a lot of countries too would be afraid to sign trade agreements with us unless there's some protection written into that other than what was, because if we ever get another rogue president like Trump,
well, exactly,
they don't want that to happen. So it's going to take a long time to rebuild the trust. But I see legislation being passed to prevent a rogue president. Are easier ways to, if a president is just blatantly breaking the law, to hold them responsible. So,
yeah.
And if they are convicted of a felony and not yet sentenced, then they cannot run for office at all.
Senate, there's going to be a lot of changes. Yeah,
a lot of changes.
A lot of reform. I just want to say thank you for the super sticker, Teresa. We appreciate that.
All righty.
All right. Daddy Trump told his son Johnson to put the American Voters Act into, is that Reconciliation 3.0 to get it passed in the Senate. What do you guys think? Will this pass? No. They already, I believe the parliamentarian already said that it can't be included in the budget. Now they could still try to put it in. I've read on it yesterday. I do not see the SAVE Act passing.
Well, it's funny because now Trump's against a parliamentarian. Get rid of her, get rid of her. But the president can't get rid of the parliamentarian. It takes, I think, the Senate.
I think they can fire them, but
I don't think he can. The president cannot get rid of the parliamentarian. I don't think. Mm-hmm.
I think the Senate has to fire. I think it's a female.
I don't think the Senate will.
No, and I don't see it getting passed. Well, I mean, he's holding up the bipartisan housing bill that was just passed, throwing a fit, like throwing a tantrum like a toddler, because he's saying that the Save America Act needs to be included in it. They already told him no, and to get it passed, they would have to change the filibuster rules, and I don't see enough Republicans willing to do that. Although I do see, at some point in the future, the filibuster being removed.
Yeah, but it's not.
I don't think it's with Trump.
Notice whenever the Democrats are holding the House and the Senate in office, the Republicans bitch and moan. B&M about the filibuster. But now they're in control. They want the filibuster. So let's see how that works, right?
Well, the thing is, too, I think even though they're not out, they don't have the courage to speak out against Trump. I think that there's many Republicans
behind the scenes.
that they're afraid of all the damage he'll cause, and they want that check in there.
Yeah, behind the scenes. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wish they'd have a certain part of the anatomy to speak up publicly. But
I see more and more doing it, and I guess Trump, when he had his press conference, him and I think Cassidy were screaming at each other. He really got into it.
good.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably investigate Cassidy now.
Probably send his DOJ, his attorney general after him, right?
That's another one that's going to end up resigning soon. That was his personal lawyer, please.
Do you feel like, before we get to this question, do you think that Blanche is going to be approved
for attorney
general?
Well,
I think he's going to just barely get by, but my guides were telling me he's out just as quickly as he's in. I feel like he's out like almost immediately.
I've often said I see him approved, but I don't see him staying in that office long.
Yeah.
But he's another one that's going to end up losing his law license, as well as Pam Bondi. And if he's a DOJ and he allows Trump to weaponize the DOJ to investigate people that speak up against Trump if they've done nothing wrong, then they're going to go after him for, abuse of power and for obstruction. I see
charges.
So do I.
For him, and I see him not being found innocent of those charges. I think there might be some jail time. I don't think it's very long, but
and the same with Bondi.
Yeah, same with Bondi.
And Kristi Noem and Kash Patel and Kaig's breath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
What are we feeling about Maxwell? It's interesting because I hope I'm wrong, and I think it would be if he were to do it, I think it would just tank his support with his base. But I felt like he may give her a pardon.
Well, even if he does, I see the Epstein files front and center again.
Oh yeah.
And if Trump pardons her, they're going to prove, though, that she did some things illegal in the states. And then I see a state or a couple states going after her to prosecute her. So what Trump is forgetting is he can do federal pardons all he wants, but he has no power over state pardons. And I see more stuff coming out about her that would be prosecuted in at least 2 states and go back to jail. That's what I see.
I feel like if she were pardoned, I think she would flee the country and we'd never see from her again. She probably wouldn't be alive for very long. Well,
they could still try her in the States, and I don't know if they would have rights to extradite her back. But, look, I didn't do that. I did not. All right.
And I tell you, just throwing some cards on Maxwell, I get that she's really getting pissed off because we know that there was a deal made. That's why she was moved. She's expecting the pardon, and she's not very happy because Trump's not living up to his end of the bargain. I feel like she's pressuring and saying, "Listen, if I don't get this pardon, it's all coming out. I'm making a big announcement."
Well, I see the Epstein files coming front and center again.
Well, I actually feel something coming probably within the next month.
Then he'll try another smoke screen, like something with Cuba or something. But if he does something with Cuba, he might have Putin going after him.
You know what I think? I was getting this today and kind of focusing into July and August, the energies for the summer. And I am picking up on there may be some terror, and I'll be careful with what I say. But then I also was wondering with that too, is it another attempt, whether it's a real attempt or a fake attempt? Because it seems like anytime something big goes on, there's always an attempt there as well.
And notice he still has his ear and there were no scars on it. What is that? That big sanitary pad he had on his ear.
Yeah,
I agree. I see.
I feel like there's another attempt.
Whether it's real or not, that's up for debate.
My guides are telling me that there's another attempt there. So
he will do anything to create a smoke screen, to wag the dog, to deceive, divert, detract, distract. Remember our D's? I mean, it's like,
Well, and he thinks with it too, like his supporters are like, we're going to actually turn around and care and feel bad for him.
but my guides assure me that our democracy will survive. You know, a lot of these people that were calling for civil war and a lot of these MAGAs, oh, that'd be a good thing. No, we just got back from Gettysburg. 51,000 people died in that battle. They couldn't even bury them all. And when they did, there were shallow graves and it rained and the bodies washed out. So they had typhus, cholera, all kinds of diseases you don't want to think about. And you think, well, our modern medicine can save us from that? Not if there's that big of an outbreak of typhus, cholera, or God knows what.
Mm-hmm.
And I like when we were seeing that demonstration of Civil War surgery.
It was a cool show.
Yes, it was. But one of the people, I think it was Patricia who said it, that said, you know, we need to speak up and it's up to us to make sure this doesn't happen again. And that's what my guides told me. And that's what I brought home from Gettysburg, from all the spirits and all the spirit activity, that we must make sure this never happens again.
Mm-hmm. So that's why it's happening.
Right.
It's to show, I think a lot of people take our freedoms for granted.
That's right.
And we have to see where things are weak so that we can modernize and update our rules and our constitution and make our democracy stronger.
And Trump's even messing with the Postal Service because now they're saying they're going to limit mail-in votes. Hello?
I don't see that staying. I don't know if there's already lawsuits against it, but
that'll go right to the
post office does not have the authority to say who they're going to deliver stuff to.
Well,
especially with ballots.
I think the Supreme Court kind of made this rule that if something gets lost in the mail or they don't have to deliver it, they can't be held responsible. But I do think the court's going to say that they cannot limit mail-in voting.
Yeah.
And if, I still see everybody get out and vote. That's why I'm not doing mail-in. I am going to wait in line.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll say with that too, it's there's a difference, if they don't have the power or the authority to say we're not giving out mail-in ballots to people.
That's right. They can't. And whether or not you mail them and they deliver them, that's one thing. But you know what? If you get a mail-in ballot, fill it out, take it to where the drop box or take it to the polling place and just hand it to them.
I got a hit while you were talking too, when I was talking about acts of terror. I feel like there's going to be a massive cyber attack coming in the next month or two too.
Oh,
I don't think it's going to be like the whole U.S. is blacked out, but I do feel like attacks against our infrastructure. Just throwing it out there.
All right. Let's see here. Wow.
Do you see a time in the future where the U.S. will have a free voter ID given to every American starting at age 18, just like European countries? I don't see that.
Well, they are free. I mean, you just go and register to vote. You don't have to pay for that.
I think they get their own voter ID, like when they register, and so they have an ID. But I don't see us doing that kind of system.
No, I see people, you have to go register, but then you get your voter ID. I do see them putting picture on voter IDs. Mm-hmm. And because they talk about voter fraud and this and that, all they have to do when you register to get a voter ID, to get your voter card, your voter ID, all they have to do is put your picture on it like they do with driver's license. And that would end any rumors about cheating.
Yeah, I just don't see this happening, though.
I don't either. But if there's like a QR code on it or something like that, John Doe voted on this date, he presented his voter ID with his picture on it, there's not much they can do about that. So I do see them with voter IDs, state by state, slowly putting our picture on voter ID. That'll happen. But I think, don't you have to be 21 to vote, or do you have to be 18? I don't know voting age right now.
In the U.S., is 18.
Is it 18? But I don't just see them handing out free voter cards to everybody.
No, I don't see that at all.
Okay.
It's not a bad idea, but
It's a
I
great
just
idea. Well, but you got to prove that you're a citizen. You got to prove that you're eligible to vote.
It's the same question every show, and I'm sorry we don't have a better answer. I feel like we're in the car on a road trip, and it's, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Is he
Right.
gone yet? Is he gone yet?
How much
When's he
longer?
leaving?
Longer, right? All right. I put that up. I just wanted to see your reaction to it. I already knew. Okay, Mel, get over it, right? Okay, go ahead.
Do you see data centers being stopped soon, like Bernie and AOC are trying to stop?
I see many of them stop. Illinois is already passing legislation to stop them from
Oh, good.
sources. So
I do feel, I agree. I do think some will be stopped because I think the people will demand it. They want clean drinking water. They don't want their electric bill to skyrocket because they take so much power. I don't see AI being done. It's very much the way of the future, but I do think there's regulations coming in place when Trump's out. I actually think this AI and the data centers are going to be a massive issue on the 2028 voting. But I feel a lot of regulations coming in because they're so bad for the environment, and then also kind of reining in, putting guidelines in place, regulations in place, so that all this misinformation and stuff isn't coming out.
well, I foresee legislation saying that these companies have to find alternative energy sources other than wasting or
Yeah, they're going to have to find different
messing up the environment. And I still see hydrogen power is going to be big in the future because it's easy to produce. And they could utilize hydrogen power to give the energy to a lot of these AI places. And the only byproduct of that is water. So that's a while off technologically. We've got the technology to do it for cars, and I see them shifting to that slowly. But I do see legislation passed in many states to protect our environment. So
I agree, but I don't see all data centers being stopped. I'm sorry to say.
Right. Okay.
Crystal Blue Persuasion. Hi, gentlemen. How do you see Trump's visit for the 4th here in South Dakota at Mount Rushmore going? I didn't know. He's probably going to Mount Rushmore because he wants to be put on Mount Rushmore, right?
Oh, if he does, that'll be like his ballroom, like the arch or the liner of the pool. Taxpayers aren't going to pay for it, but yet we have definite proof that he lied about the liner. Who's paying for that? About the ballroom, who's paying for that? And so if he starts work on Mount Rushmore, it will never be completed. And even if it was, once he's
I don't see that at all.
His face would be wiped out. Once he's gone, any remnant of him is going to be taken down. Just like when Stalin, when the Communist Party, when Mikhail Gorbachev disbanded the Communist Party, every effigy of Stalin was removed. That's what's going to happen here with Trump. So,
well, we're already seeing it, right?
Right.
With the Kennedy Center. Correct. That's why he was so pissed off.
But notice,
I said he was not going to have a very good birthday,
right?
And his celebration was fine, but he was upset. His name got forced to take down from the Kennedy Center. Now he's hiding it still under the cloth, just to throw
Kennedy's name back up there either. So that'll have to go.
I'm just throwing a couple cards on the 4th.
Well, he doesn't care about the environment, and I do see some fireworks somewhere igniting forest fires, and that's a very good question, Crystal Blue Persuasion.
I was saying I felt a lot of water for the month of June coming in, flooding, storms. But my guides were very clear this year. It's going to be a very active fire season all over the world.
Trump doesn't care about the environment. He gives one hoot about it. Not even a hoot. He doesn't care about his constituents. He doesn't care about anybody but greasing his own pockets. But, it just hit me. My light bulb went off again. His health is really bad. And he's got a hospitalization coming really soon. And I don't know if it's right before the 4th of July or right after. And we won't hear from him for a long time. And it's going to be pretty serious.
I agree.
that, and I see that leaked. It's going to leak, and they're going to say it's not true, but it will be true. So
I see more information coming out about treatments and what's going on with his health. And I agree. When we don't see him for a week, he probably just had some kind of procedure, recovering from medication he's on. He's not doing well. And I actually feel around that time, when around the 4th, he's not feeling very well. I do think, I don't know if this has to do with Iran or maybe it's Cuba. I do feel like he's going to take some more forceful action. And I get to, he's going to appear very unwell and very demented around the 4th.
go figure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, Nancy, go. I don't.
Oh yeah, I heard about this. Do you think Schlump's getting an experimental drug to prolong his life? There's a rumor that he got, well, some higher up guy, same age as Trump, was getting. I don't remember how they do this. If you're like terminally ill or if it's like seriously life threatening, they can give you experimental drugs, but they have to report it. And so there's a lot of speculation that there's this weight loss drug that Trump's on. I don't know. It's not really resonating the strongest with me, but a lot of people are talking about it being Trump.
I think, it's more like him, when called, but use a blue light, or can we do something with bleach? Come on.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Okay. Here we go.
China's building data centers in the ocean now. How will this impact ocean life, and can it be stopped? It's not going to be stopped while Trump's president.
No, but once he's gone, they're going to say, wait, China, you can't screw up the environment like this. So I don't see China being as successful with that as they think they're going to be.
I mean, I don't think you need a psychic to tell you how bad they are for the environment and polluting.
They're horrible. All right, let's see here. Vivian.
All right. Do you see an interim government coming into the White House? I'll say I do think it's a possibility, and I've read on this many times. Susan Lynn and I were talking about it at the very start of Trump's term as being a possibility. Because if Vance gets in, I feel like he goes down like Trump goes down almost immediately after. I do feel like it's a bit of unprecedented. I don't see Mike Johnson as president. I don't see that.
Well, if something happens to Vance, Speaker of the House, but then if something happens to Speaker of the House, I think it's Postmaster General. I forget the.
Well, I think it's Jamie Raskin's talking about an amendment that talks about there being, like with the 25th Amendment, how there can be like a group of people that come in to force him out, and maybe them being in charge until the next election.
Well, I see Raskin trying to put that through, but you'd have to have Republican agreement on that.
Yeah.
So I if it is, I don't see it lasting long. But at some point, once Trump and the Maybelline Queen are gone, in the event something like that happens, then I see some sort of addendum or something to the Constitution saying that then there can be a committee who could appoint somebody interim, but they're supposed to go down the line of succession. They did change that after Nixon. I don't know who would be in line, because when Nixon resigned, so did Spiro T. Agnew. He was a vice president, and that's how Gerald Ford became president. But I don't remember how Ford got his vice president. But the law had just changed. That's how Ford became president. So
I mean, unless you can get Republicans on board, if Trump really messes up and they're trying to, I don't know. I don't see it right now, but.
Well, I agree. I see the Republican Party crumbling.
Well, the Democratic Party is not. I think Madami and all of the New York primary elections on Tuesday really sent shockwaves throughout the party.
That's what I see happening in the Democratic Party in the future. that these younger Democrats, the Mamdani and all of that, fiery people speaking up, saying we've had it, and stop playing, like old order Democrats.
Mhm.
And I see the party evolving, and it's going to evolve for the best, and I'm all for it.
Me too.
My
I'm
guys,
all for getting corruption out of either side, of either party, and there's corruption on both sides.
both my guys have been telling me for a long time that there's going to be upcoming Democrats who are going to be speaking up, and they're going to be proactive as opposed to reactive,
Mhm.
and they're going to be fiery. And
We're going to see this push for midterms, but I also see when we have a primary for president in 2028, I think that that's going to be very telling of the direction that the party's going. People are tired of their representatives working for their lobbyists and people that pay them and putting their needs over the American people. I mean, people are ready for change, and they're ready for their government to work for them.
And I see legislation being passed to kind of clip the wings of the lobbyists so that they can't have.
Oh yeah.
The day of the Chuck Schumer Democrats is going to be gone. I mean, I'm not saying Chuck Schumer's bad, but I see more fiery, proactive, let's get in there and get it done, and aren't going to put up with any BS from the likes of Cittadini. So,
yeah, I mean, I think all the APAC candidates on the Democratic side lost.
There you go. Let's see. Oh, here. This is a good one. I gotta have a good laugh.
What do we think about Trump's 250th rally?
I'm laughing for a reason. My next, it's going to be a flop. That's what I think. But here's the bigger one. Now I'm doing this. The computer. I just did this one. You see that thumbs down? That's what I see for his rally.
Did they just have the rally? I'm pretty sure they just had it, or maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I don't know.
I see it being very low attendance, and like I said, he's demented. So
it's going to be a flop. I'm telling you.
Yes.
Okay. Somebody else asked about experimental drug. We answered that.
I just feel with you too. I agree. I feel I had a dream, I think a month ago, where I saw a headline that Trump hospitalized in like a new newspaper article, and I've been talking about it too.
There you go. Well, I've been having dreams where the headlines say Trump has passed away, and
I think
I've been dreaming it for a long time, and I've been dreaming it for about 6 months. And usually, when I dream something like that, the more stronger the dream, the sooner it's going to happen. And I'm dreaming it almost every 2 or 3 days now. So,
I think even if I was wrong and he's not forced out or the health doesn't take him out before midterms, I don't think he is going to live long enough to finish out his term.
There you go.
I don't see him finishing it out.
Here's one.
Yeah.
Well, we know that at least 6 of them are. I don't think there's 3 that aren't. Okay. I gotta put this up. Mark, this is a classic. I want to get a t-shirt made with this. I gotta put this up because this is hysterical. I think it's Mark Brisebois.
The result of Trump's colonoscopy, they discovered half of the Congress and 6 SCOTUS. That's funny.
I got to take a screenshot of this. I am going to put that on a t-shirt. That is classic. Yes, Trump's colonoscopy was abnormal. They discovered half Congress and 6 SCOTUS. Could you imagine a doctor saying, "Yes, Mr. President, we found 6 SCOTUS in your intestine"? That's funny. Here's
who will overturn the Supreme Court?
I don't think anybody will. I think once we get new justices and cases coming to them pretty rapidly, they'll overturn a lot of the decisions this court made. I see reinstatement of Roe v. Wade. I see
Do you feel like that's from the court, though, or do you think that it's passed federally? I almost feel like that might be passed federally. Federal law.
I see gay rights, us being a protected status passed as a law.
Mm-hmm.
I see Voters' Rights Act, like who was the African American gentleman who died, who he was a senator who worked so hard to have,
Do you say voting rights?
yes, voting rights.
Was it John Lewis?
Yes, that's it. So I see his things he came up with being passed into law.
Mm-hmm.
And an end to these modern Jim Crow laws. I see an end to this unfair gerrymandering.
Yeah.
You can still draw political districts, but I see that decision overturned.
I almost feel like it might be an independent partisan people coming in and drawing the distance, because I think it's really ridiculous that political parties can draw their own maps.
I see an end to that.
Yeah. I think it's a little while out. I see the gerrymandering war continuing into 2028, but I think after that election,
once Trump is gone and Shady Vance is gone, I'm telling you, there's going to be sweeping changes for the better. No more of this. They won't do it again stuff. Collins. I wonder if she changed her vote. Probably. She's such a chameleon. She's going to lose in Maine big time, by the way. I just don't like her.
I don't think many people watching are big fans of Susan Collins or any of these Republicans.
She comes across so nice, but behind the scenes, she's just all out for Susan Collins.
Well, anytime there's a vote, there's she will go against Trump when they still have enough votes. But if she's the deciding vote on something, she gives Trump whatever he wants.
Right, exactly.
And so with Murkowski and
right.
Yeah.
I put this one up because I think Trump attending and cutting the ribbon is going to be a big flop.
Yeah. Well, we just read on it.
Well, kind of. But now that he's, the Roosevelt Presidential Library on July 1st, okay. I don't think that many people are going to attend it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm not seeing it going very well, but like I said, he's so demented right now, too. He's not really looking that great.
Right.
Can I put this up? Somebody made the comment Putin's finished, but what's your read on Putin? Because Ukraine is regaining a lot of territory, and
Ukraine is starting to win. And when Putin invaded Ukraine for no reason, just like Trump tried it with Iran, and Putin said it would be over within 3 or 4 weeks, guess what? It was over. It's still going on. And my guides had said it would go on for a very long time. Ukraine is starting to win, and they're going to be hitting Russia more and more and more. Russian people are anti-Putin, and I see Putin gone. He's so paranoid right now. He doesn't see anybody. He shut himself off. Yeah. I see Putin gone.
Yeah, and his health has not been great for a while either. Yeah, I agree with you. I almost feel like things get so bad in Russia, like he's fleeing for his life.
I agree. 515.
People have had enough. He cannot win. That he's stuck and unable to move forward with this war. He's got the hangman here, which can be things being suspended, or not being able to move ahead with the Two of Wands. But it could also be people coming out as a show of force and hanging him up. People are tired of it, and their economy is crashing too.
Absolutely. I put this up. This is another hysterical one. You got to read this.
LG has more backbone than Republican senators.
That's really good. Boy, we got some good comments tonight, huh, Kevin?
Yeah.
Do we have time for one more, maybe?
Yeah, we can do one more.
This is a really good one.
Do these judges really think they're going to get away with what they're doing? Will they suffer any consequences? Well, we kind of answered it earlier.
well, I do think they'll have to pay the piper, and I do think justice will be served. Here's one. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Is the 4th of July going to be safe?
Hi, Donna. How are you, my dear? They're coming. Her and her son are coming to Gettysburg.
Oh, nice. Looking forward to it, Donna.
I met Donna and Benicia, actually. Her and her
I mean,
son.
I shared my thoughts earlier about I was getting hits of some terror stuff and cyber attacks and another attempts. So, but I'll throw a couple cards on it.
I still feel people will be safe. I mean, I don't think that there's going to be any huge catastrophe coming. I do see people, though, right shortly before the 4th or after, big peaceful protests to people voicing their concerns against Cittadini.
Yeah.
That's what I see coming. So
I got the Mad King card here, and it feels like that is Trump. I think things are getting to be a turning point for this regime. People are hurting economically, and I feel protests as a result. People are upset and angry that we're celebrating our 250th year as a country with somebody that's trying to undermine
our
democracy in our country. I'm not necessarily picking up anything unsafe, but like I said, I feel some energy around that here in the near future. I hope I'm wrong.
Okay. Here's the last one. This is a good one.
Trump and White House have total control over the White House press pool, which is so dangerous for democracy. Do you see in the future that the press pool will be truly independent and if they'll have actual journalists?
I like that question because I think today we've confused op-ed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these so-called news channels are nothing more than op-ed, and they're not reporting the news. And I see a time coming once Trump is gone and this regime is gone, where reporters will report the news and have op-ed be op-ed. I see us getting back to that. So I think people, the lines have been blurred, and I see the lines becoming crystal clear again. This is op-ed, this is news. I do see an independent press pool,
Mm-hmm.
but the president still can control his press person, the spokesperson for the president.
Mm-hmm.
That's always going to be political. That's not.
Well, I don't think that's what she meant. I mean,
the press pool.
But I mean, can you imagine if Obama was president and he said, "Fox News, you're not allowed to receive news from me"? I mean, they would have had a field day. Well, I see it getting back to a sense of normalcy and decorum after Trump.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, before we wrap up, real quick, I just want to pull this up because we didn't chat about it. Yes, let's please send prayers to Venezuela. We just had 2 earthquakes that were pretty devastating.
And how much you bet Trump is not going to send any help to them
whatsoever? Oh, he won't.
After he says, I'm running Venezuela. I have friends in Venezuela.
Mm.
And, I was there many, many years ago, and it was a wonderful country. And unfortunately, it's been the victim of power-hungry dictators. And now it's a victim of Donald Trump, who's a wannabe power-hungry dictator.
Yeah.
I do see Venezuela getting a democracy back, and the folks in Venezuela standing up and saying, we're tired of the graft, we're tired of the corruption. And I think this, even though people were killed in this horrible earthquake, I see this is going to pull Venezuelans together to say, we have got to get our democracy back. And they will get it back.
It'll take a little bit of time, but
that's right.
I think for them and for a lot of countries right now, it's a time of rebuilding, right?
That's right. I do have friends that they lived in Venezuela. They're now in Colombia, but I still have friends in Venezuela. The ones in Venezuela, I have to be very careful about what they say. But I get a lot of accurate reports from the Venezuelans who are living in Colombia. So
yeah, I've been predicting earthquakes. I even feel a pretty significant volcano eruption. But there's going to be a lot of earth changes and crazy weather and all of that too. So just putting that out there. I think it's going to be very heightened this summer.
Absolutely.
Solar flares too, I feel.
Right.
All right. Well, it was good having you back on the channel. It's been a little while since you were on with Gettysburg.
We had Gettysburg. So,
Mhm.
But again, if interested in Gettysburg in September, email Kevin or call my office at 847-590-5411. And we only have openings for, I think, about 8 more people, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be a fun time.
It's going to be fun. Anyway.
All right, my friends, you be well. On your channel next week?
Yes, my channel next week. Same time, same place.
All right. Y'all have a great night. Take care. Hit that thumbs up, please.